Where's the fly? Get it! Hey guys, Pat here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, today I'm tinkering on the tractor a little bit more, the YM 1700 Yanmar. I believe it's a 1978. And the other day it had an overheating problem. So I wanted to make sure that it didn't have a blown head gasket. And I wanted to show the tractor a little bit of love. So I flushed and cleaned out the radiator and put new coolant in it. Also did an oil change on it and a couple other little housekeeping things that I've been meaning to do for a while. And one of those things was to fix the tachometer and hour gauge on the machine. It hasn't worked since I got it. I really haven't used the machine a great deal. The other day I was helping out a friend do some brush hog work, and I just wanted to go ahead and do a few little housekeeping things to help prevent any more heating up. So knowing what your RPMs are is a good idea. Also knowing how hot the machine is getting is a good idea. One of those things is to fix the tachometer, and I might replace the temperature sensor with a analog type gauge. So it doesn't have one of those right now. It just has an idiot light on it, just to let you know, hey, it's getting hot. And what is that temperature? The guy doesn't know. This little device hooks on the bolts on the front of the block and ties into the crankshaft. The cable is in perfect shape. I believe the hour meter looks like it's in really good shape. The hour meter and tachometer. There's a little rotating piece here that was gnarled over. It was wore down to kind of a taper, and I'll take you over to the machine and show you the issue that I have there. So what I was hoping to do, these things are used about $50, $75. A new one is like $150, and that's probably before shipping, obviously. But I thought I would go ahead and try this first and see if it worked. What I've done is I took the arc welder and welded a little bit of I built this up on the two sides to make that a little bit wider. And so you'll see what this has to go into here in just a few minutes when I take you out and show you that on the tractor. So what I have is, after I got done welding, I actually used an arc welder for this, a portable arc welder, to build this up a little bit. And I cleaned this up, flushed it out really well, exercised this, a little keeper in here. I tried taking that out and removing this, but in order to remove this, obviously you have to take the little keeper out back behind here. You're supposed to be able to remove this lock screw, and I guess this would probably slide out, but it looks like it's been soldered in the past. It looks like somebody's been in here before. So I didn't want to affect the integrity of that. I figured, well, if this doesn't work, I might just ante up and buy another one of these. I would have to compensate for the flare on that, because what this goes into, it's a little slotted shaft that goes through here, and then it's geared and goes through the slotted shaft here, and this goes through there's a little slot inside here that goes to your tachometer cable. And then from the tachometer cable, obviously, it goes to the gauge. So this part is supposed to look something like this when it's new. This is round with this notched out here. Now the part that goes into is supposed to look like this on the tractor side. But what we have here is, I'm going to draw an exaggerated version of this just to show you what's going on. It's actually bent out. So what happened is this little shaft here, over time, kind of rounded itself off. So then it kind of had a little bit of a taper. I built that taper up, or the worn out part, as you can see. and built that up to where it'll fit in that notch, because I don't think straightening this out is a good idea. The guy might end up breaking one of these tabs off here. So I'll go over here and show you the welder that I used. And obviously I didn't want to do this video if it didn't work, but I haven't stuck this in the machine to see if it works. So we're going to go ahead and you're going to see whether or not this was a successful try. So again, I just used this portable Ranger. So you can see my settings there, 160. So we went ahead and clamped this in the ground section on this side. This is actually aluminum. And this part in here is steel, this little part in here. But I was able to get current to flow from here to here in order to get my U6013 rod and just tap those a little bit and built those up. And then I made sure that I got all the welding slag off of here, rinse this off with WD-40, exercise this around for several minutes, and just wash this out really good. I want to make sure that there's no welding slag or no parts of this metal that's actually going to flake off or break off into the casing and into the crankcase. So anyway, there's that. So we're going to go over to the machine. I don't have a tripod to show you my work, so I'll try to get this, I'll try to show you as best I can everything that I have over there. So let's go over to the tractor and take a look. Okay, here we are over the little Yanmar YM 1700. And again, recently I've just been doing some house cleaning on this. I cleaned all the oil and grease off of the machine. I greased it up real well. The guy I got this from, he actually threw it in with the purchase of the property. And so it came with a little brush hog. It's actually a nice little tractor. He said he had the transmission rebuilt in it. Oil's clean, it runs real well. It looks to me like the engine may have been rebuilt. And this has the water pump upgrade. Tough little tractor. I think it's well built. I did take and replace the battery, and there's actually enough room in there for Group 31. Oh, there's my helper. Did you get the rats and the birdies? Did you get them? Where's the rats and birdies? Get them. You can see this goes on that way. So that has to point over to the, I guess, the driver's side or the left-hand side of the machine. And you can see it actually meshes up right inside that groove. And that groove rotates when you turn the engine over. So you see how that turns around. That in turn turns this guy, and that guy turns that little flat spaded part inside there. And then obviously your cable has that little notch, and those marry up to the inside. I can't remember what the name of this piece is. Maybe I can get Heidi to put that on the screen as to what the name of this thing is called. What I have to do is I'm just holding the camera. I don't have anything to hold the camera right now other than my hands. So I've got to go ahead and get this mounted up, and we'll go ahead and give this a try. There's just 3 bolts in there on this particular model. There's 3 bolts that hold it on. So I just have to put it back on and give it a try. Okay, so on the bottom you got 2 shorter screws, and this piece comes out a little further, so this is a longer screw on top. Put a little Permatex sealer over the old gasket. That locked in. Left-hand side of the machine now. Now I can reach that. So yeah, you don't want to torque this down too much because you have aluminum here and steel there. Steel always wins. So we want to strip that out. Okay, so now I'm going to focus on a little bit more steady hand here, and you can see the installation. Cable is connected. I tighten that down, snug down these 3 screws, one in the back you can't see, and the cable wraps around the engine on the other side, and here's the cable, and then it goes up into the dash. Now I'm over here on the passenger side, a square end of the cable, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and give this a twist. You can hear it. Okay, when I turned that, it wasn't turning freely. It seemed like it was meshing together. So now we're going to be connecting this side. This is the hour meter and tachometer connection. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. Get all the alder leaves out of the way. Okay, I know the gauge is working. This was 31.5 hours on the meter, and obviously you could see the deflection of the gauge. So that was a fix, temporarily or permanent. We'll find out later on. But anyways, couldn't have done it without Cody, the biscotti dog. Does it look all right, Cody? Hey, Cody, where you headed? Where you going? Well, another little fix on the tractor. My next project will be putting a seat on. That'll be in the next video. But hope this helped you guys out, what your potential problem is. If your tachometer doesn't work, obviously it's the cable, or it's the connection to the engine block, or obviously it could be the tachometer itself. So anyway, hope that helps you guys out. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.